Welcome to Soulful Spaces, Junk Journaling Techniques. Join me on this journey of creativity and faith as we are going to explore the art of junk journaling. So we are going to be transforming ordinary materials into extraordinary works of art, all the while deepening our connection with God. Well, on today's episode, we are going to do a waterfall pocket inside of our Sacred Spaces junk journal that I've been working on. This series, I'm going to be posting at least once a week, different types of ephemera that you can put into your kit. And I saw this the other day in a video, and I got really excited about it because it was so simple and yet so effective. And this is what it looks like. And the person who made it, I have their name here. I want to give them credit. They're a fellow YouTuber. She used scrapbook paper. And I thought to make it more faith-based would be fun is what if we used concordance pages, because then we've got the Word of God on it, right? And so that was what I figured out I'm going to show you how to make. Let's find where I'm thinking I want to put this. In my second signature, I really like this paper, and I thought it would be really pretty to go on there. So that's the page I think we're going to be putting this on, okay? Now, the other thing is, what are you going to put into your waterfall pocket? And I decided to make a freebie for you. So this is the freebie page, and the link for this is in the description. If you click on it, you'll go right to my Google, and you can download this. I would suggest that you print it on 48-pound matte photo paper, which is what I've done. I basically took pieces from quite a few kits, and so I put the name of the kit on there in case you wanted to buy the kit if you don't have it. My ephemera kits are huge. They have tons of faith-based ephemera in them, and so I've pulled some pieces out. So this is from the vintage wildflower card where it says put Christ first. And this is from the Ultimate Ephemera Kit. There's 4 pages of various stamps and things like that on different colored backgrounds. And then I've picked the Faith one and the Butterfly one. And then these 2 are from the Note and Verse Cards Ephemera Kit. They just work really, really well. So I've gone ahead and I have cut those out, and so they're ready for me to use. So if you have concordance, if you have an old concordance, that's one of the books that I've mentioned as a faith artist, is a really good thing. And you can usually pick those up at any kind of resale shop, because everybody used to only be able to do Bible study through printed word and the concordance. When I first became a Christian in 1990, everybody said get a concordance. So of course, you know, it's like a 4-inch thick book. And now that everything's online, I don't ever even use it. So I decided to repurpose it into my faith art. So let me show you exactly how we're going to make this. And let's start there, how we're going to make it. And then I'll show you what my thoughts were for how I'm going to finish this one. So you need 2 pages. And if you're going to use scrapbook paper, go ahead and do that. If you have a large book, used book that you're using, doesn't really matter. You're basically going to make like a tunnel, okay? Let me just move this out of the way so that I have more room for you to see me. You're going to make, like I said, a tunnel, okay? And how wide you make it, that's totally up to you. I chose to make it the width of a number 8 tag because I'm going to be sliding my items in. So see how I did this? I'm not measuring it. That looks pretty straight to me. That's what I'm going to do. It's just going to be like that, okay? So all you have to do is, like I said, just go ahead and make yourself. We're going to fold it on both, one on each side, right? And you're going to do that. Then you're going to take the second one and you're going to do the exact same thing. So I would just lay it on top to make sure they have to be the same width, okay? So let's say that's going to be about right there, and then we'll fold this one over. Sometimes it would be easier, maybe. Yeah, I got plenty of paper there to measure. Let's see, are they the same width? Yes, they are, right? Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and fold it all the way down. Fold this all the way down and make sure that they totally match. And mine, one is a little bit wider. No, there we go. Okay, then I'm going to glue them together. So we'll just run a glue line down there. They are now, that one is glued together. Do the same thing on this one. So the possibilities for this waterfall are endless in the sense of whatever paper you choose totally can set a different tone, different size. So here we have now 2 of them, right? And we're going to fold it but not crease the fold. And we are going to put a notch. See how these are notched? Now, when I did the demo, my punch won't go through all 4. I probably need to sharpen mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through 2 of them because you want them to all be basically matching. So we've got that done. And then I'm going to gently, let's see, put this there. We're going to do it like this. But I'm not, you see, I'm not really folding it yet, okay? I'm just doing that to give myself the direction of where to put the second one, which it'll be fine. There we go. Okay, so now we've got them all notched. So now you're going to lay one down there, and now we are going to, let's ink this because you might not be able to see it in the video of what exactly that I'm doing. So we'll get that inked, and then I think that'll give you the edges will be able to be seen a lot easier. Okay, and now we're going to lay this one like that, and then we are going to fold it up. Now, how far you want to fold it is kind of up to you. You can keep them fairly the same amount in between. And then when you fold this one, this technically should be about the same, which look, it really is. And so that works pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crease everything now. And that works pretty well. So let's go ahead and edge these. Edge this one. And I'm using scorched timber. That's my favorite. It's really dark. Gives you a nice crisp edge. So there we go. So now that's the way they look. And here's the fold that holds the 2 of them together. Now, the person who did this, and I'm just blanking on her name, but I do have the link. She went ahead and did a pamphlet stitch right here. And you know, I hate pamphlet stitch. And I avoid it as much as I can. So I am going to use my trusty stapler, and I'm just going to staple mine right on the fold. Let me just darken my fold so I can see it. Okay, we are going to, and this is my close to my heart stapler. And that works there. And that works there. So if you don't have this articulating stapler, I found this one on Amazon, and it works just as good because it's got such a huge long, it's called a long arm, right? So you can put this, look, see how long that would go in and out, and you move this if you want to get an even bigger piece of paper. This, I think, to be honest, I think this was maybe around $10. So I've had this one for a long time. When you get to bigger items, this one doesn't really work. So, okay, we've got it stapled. So now we are all ready. And there we go. Now let's decorate it. As I showed you on the freebie that I created, I think this is what I want to do on my cover. And of course, you know what? This is the one I just made let me use this one because I already had these things fit on here. So you're just going to, you know, put things on. Now you can keep this as a waterfall and come down like that. When you go to glue it in, you just glue the back part, or you could glue it together and just have the pockets. That's going to be up to you. So I'm going to decorate this one, as I said, because I know everything fit on there and I've already darkened it. So I'm going to put the Put Christ First right there. And I liked these two little pieces, which I think I'm going to cover it like that. So let's put down the Put Christ First. I hope you're enjoying this series. Enjoying it to me means that you not only watch it, but you actually create faith art for an existing journal, or maybe you started a new journal for this series, and that's what you're keeping all of your ideas. Now, if you don't have an idea journal, that's kind of what this one is going to end up being for me. I made the journal, and let's see, I want that kind of like that, and I'm going to wrap that around there too. I made my journal, and it's going to be like my big faith art you know, book of projects so that I can remember, wait, what do I want to add on that page? What do I want to add to that page? So that's what this book is going to be all about for me. Now, I've cut out the other pieces that go on here, and I decided, I did print it on the 48-pound cardstock, and this one is good for this first one because it's short and it fit right in there. And what I did was I punched a hole, and then I used my reinforcers that I've made. There's a whole video on how to make these yourself, so check that one out. And then I put some ribbon on it. So that's going to be in my first pocket. The second pocket, well, let me go backwards. The third pocket, this one piece is really nice and tall, and so I did not make it any sturdier. It's sturdy enough as I printed it on the 48-pound paper. That's going to be there. I think what I'm going to do is I want to put a little eyelet on the corner and have a dangle. Now these other two, when I went to put each one of them in, they're really too short and they would get lost. So what Diane did was I decided that I'm going to stick them on one of my number 8 tags and trim it down, and then that way it'll give me the additional length that I need. See, I wanted that little part to be sticking out a little bit, and then this one will go right here. So we'll finish these in just a second. I just wanted to show you what I was, okay, because of course I'm on camera. And this one's going to go right in there. Okay, and see, again, I wanted it to be long enough to kind of stick up. So this is my, that one's actually a little bit too long, isn't it? That one would go there. So see how that's my plan. So now let's go backwards. These two are done. Let's do these next two. Oh, I glued that to the two of them. Well, that's okay. They're glued together. Okay, let me pull this one out. Now, what I was thinking, what I'm going to do is I am going to just trim this down like that so that I get the width to be the width that I want. Let me get my little scissors. Oh, they're there. And we'll trim this one back out. So the next piece that I have says faith on it. And so I thought about, well, what would I journal on the back of that? And so I went and looked up what are the most popular verses about faith. And hold on one second. Let me just watch what, oh, I just cut off the part that I wanted. That's really good, Diane, because I was talking to you. That's great. I love when I make mistakes. The last video I just made, I had mistakes in too. But that's the reality of life, right? Well, I'm just going to make it work. Let's darken it and it'll be okay. Now, I won't do that with the next one. So I was busy talking about faith. And I think for me, the verse that I just think about when I think about faith is Hebrews 11:1. You know, the verse that says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And so when we read that, it's really talking about that faith is about trust, right? We have to trust in things that we cannot see. And sometimes that is really hard for people, including myself. It's so much easier when I can look right at it and go, yeah, that's it, that's right. But God has called us to faith. There was 2 more verses that I looked up, and Mark 11:22-23 was, have faith in God, Jesus answered. Truly, I tell you, if anyone says to the mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done to them. So there's another one about trusting, right? And you know what else I realized? I didn't glue this down. No wonder I'm having a hard time with this, because it's not, there we go. I was busy making it as a demo. Okay, let me go backwards. Now this should work a whole lot better now that it's going to be glued down. Okay, and that one's going to be there. So this one, actually we could switch these, right? This is a little bit bigger. Why don't we do that? We'll switch that to the second one. This will be the first place that we're going to put it in. Okay, that looks nice. Now, I think I should tie this in a knot because it's kind of coming apart. There we go. There's that one. Let's go ahead and put in the eyelet while I'm thinking of it. So I want to use one of the smaller eyelets. I'm going to do it on the corner. So you want to leave some space so that it doesn't fall apart, basically. And let's see, I wanted to use this and a little tiny washer. There we go. Let's see if I can get that to work today. So this is going to end up being a really pretty piece of faith ephemera to put into our kit. Okay, that fits right on there. And then I have my little secret. I put a dab of art glitter glue around the eyelet, and then I put down the backing. And that backing just makes it so that it looks nice when you crimp it together. And especially, I don't have super thick paper here, so. Okay, so now we are going to, that should be stuck on there, which it is, because I have to turn this around for me to make this work. So I'm gonna put the pokey part into there, and we will crimp it and see it looks really, really good. Okay, we've got that done. Now, under all my stuff, I had pulled out a bulb. Here it is. Okay, I pulled out a bulb pin that I want to attach to here, and then I pulled out one of the keys. I bought a package of keys, I think, from Temu, and this is one of them. So I thought that would be really fun. The key, right? The key for all of us is always God's word. There we go. So that's what's going to be on that one. Excuse me. Okay, let me open that. Now, this is very thin paper. There we go. And now we just need to put this one in there. And this one I am not going to cut off the bottom. Trim all the way down, Diane. Do not cut it off. Oh, that was so funny that I put it on here specifically for a reason and then blew my own reason right out. Okay. There we go. So sometimes even if you use the heavier paper, it's just not strong enough. And so I back things with manila folders all the time. And I'm just going to use the same color on all of these. I think that might look pretty. And let's put this on there. So tell me, what do you think of this waterfall pocket? I have another idea I'm going to show you, but in the comments, let me know if you think this is a good idea. Can you see, are your wheels turning in your head? You see lots of things you can do with it. And we're gonna put that one right in there. And there we go. And it's taller than the back one. So I guess we're gonna flip it again. I don't fret over any of this because you can always make it work. You can trim it or add something to make something longer. It doesn't really matter, does it? Now my thought was, there we go. See, now that works. That's actually, I like it much better the way it turned out. So my thought was, on these tabs and tags, this is a chance for you to do some journaling. What would you journal? So as I just mentioned, maybe you look up, go to Google and just write, give me top 5 verses for something. And I put in, for faith. And that's what I came up with. And the third one that I came up with, I wanted to share, was, the second one was Romans 10:17. So faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. So again, it refers us back to, we have to have faith in God. What did we say it was? Is that it's faith is the assurance of things hoped for, but we haven't seen them, right? And that's what we're called to. So how would you could just go ahead and write that verse like on the back of this one. In fact, I think I will do that while we're sitting here talking. And then if I wanted to have some notes about it, I could do that. I'm going to write Romans 10:17 on this one. And it says, so faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. Now, one of the tips I always tell everybody is date everything that you do when it comes to your time spent with God. Because if you want to just go back and, like, when did I talk about that? Yes, there it is, right there. Now, what you could do then on the next card is, I have nothing on that one. I could go ahead and write a prayer on there. I could write another Bible verse, one of those other ones. Or I could just look up some commentary. I didn't look up commentary today. I wanted to just focus on the ephemera piece that we're making. I also then had a brainstorm. Well, here's another way. This would be another fun way to make this. Well, wait. Before I do that, Diane, let's go ahead and we are going to put it on the page that I wanted to put it on. And I think that's the page that I wanted. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this whole back in there. And it will be a waterfall, so that will be really nice, right? So when I flip to this page, but look what I did. I hooked that on there. I shouldn't have, because it's pulling the 3 of them. There we go. Okay, I didn't mean to go all the way like that. There, we'll wrap it on the first one so that I get my waterfall back. Okay, there's that one, there's that one, there's that one, and then that's tucked down. So that's the basic. Now I might do some more decorating on this. I might add some more things on this page, but that's the basic of how to make a waterfall pocket ephemera. And we've added these beautiful pieces of our faith. As I just said, I thought about another thing would be fun, depending on the size of the paper. If you have a hymnal, right, get 2 pages out of your hymnal. I'll just show you the one that I quickly did. and you're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to be much smaller, but who cares? It's really kind of fun, isn't it? So you can do this with any paper, any size paper that you want. Now the trick with hymnal paper, if I want to see the words, I would turn these upside down. So make them upside down now, so that when I do my flip, look, now I can see the words. So that's my little tip for you when you're using hymnal paper. See, now these two are in the correct direction. So there's another one that we could make. And this one, you could do the notch instead of the circle punch in case you have the notch maker, right? So let's go back to how I showed you. Well, first glue it, Diane, because I didn't glue the other one and then I was having a hard time trying to show you something. There we go. Let's glue that. So are you thinking of lots of possibilities to use this? I just think it's fun and easy, and we decided we're going to go like that. So let's notch these two on here. Now I like the, you know why I like the notch? Because if you put your paper on here, it kind of helps you center it all on its own. There we go. And then we're going to notch these two. So let's just open it this way and we'll put it just like that, right? Now we'll take this. So you have the first one. Let's edge them so you can see what I'm doing. So what fun papers are you thinking about using for this? Okay, we're going to put that one down a little bit farther. We're going to flip it up, and that'll be our third one. And then there is our fourth one, right? So I like to put it together like that and then crease it once I have it visually that they look like they're centered, right? They're folded, the same amount of space is in between them. Okay, so that would work. And then, as I just mentioned, where did I just put the staple? I'm the staple girl. I want it quick and easy. And so I would just staple these two together. And it's right there and right there. And there is our second smaller one. So that would be fun. Oh, look, you could have done, you can do two. If you're on a big wide page, you could do two of those. So I'll use this in another space in here and I'll do something different with it. Here's my finished page. I added some cotton lace on the edge and I made it so that it sticks out a little bit. So it's a edger, I guess is what you call it. It looks really, really pretty. The other thing I forgot to mention to you is I just put up my 50 things to get at Dollar Tree, and I forgot to pull these out. Now, these are from Dollar Tree, and they're called pen holder cases. So they've been in a couple different spots within the Dollar Tree, but here's why I'm going to tell you I love them, why I suggest them for ephemera. Because as I mentioned, I have 5 different ephemera kits. Trying to keep, I had it all in one big bin, and then as I was starting to work on this kit, the Soulful Spaces, I realized you're going to say, well, what kit is that from? And I'm not going to remember. So I sat there and sorted all my cutout pieces, and putting them in this is perfect because look, you can sit here and go like, oh yeah, okay. And you can play around and you can see things. So you've got a lot of visual space in each one of them. And then I just typed in a Word document the name of the kit, Colossal Ephemera Kit, and there, everything from that kit is right here. So here's the Ultimate Ephemera Kit, exactly the same thing. I put all my cut up pieces in there, and it's so much easier to sort when I had them in smaller containers. I've tried them in bags. I've tried them in quite a few different things, and none of those really work. This is the best one that I've gotten so far. And as I said, $1.25, so you can go get 4 or 5 of them. And there's my vintage cards. So just wanted to give you that little tip of how to store your ephemera. And there's our finished page. That is our Soulful Spaces ephemera teaching for today. And as I mentioned, it's all about faith, and that we are to have faith even when we cannot see it. I will repeat the verse. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Can you trust in God and have faith? Do you do that?